Divide, like all these places are open, but you know, if we're to expect anything, and look, these teams are already expecting, they're dropping out really early towards the cities. They're thinking it's going to be a southern circle. Let's see what we get here.
Let's see how many people stay and hold their nerve in the car. In the car? In the plane. It's a very different vehicle.
Car with wing.
Car with wings?
Plural.
Well, you're not wrong, it does have a wing.
Yeah, it does have one wing.
It also has another.
Wing mirrors.
Goodness me, what is this slam?
Give me the circle, please!
Oh my goodness me.
Now!
Yeah. We're going to see where the circle does fall, of course, but you level up, they're staying in late. They are going to hold their nerve, as we were saying, and it's going to be all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Relatively safe for most teams here. Team IND will have to move in from the south. Valdus the Murder as well, moving in a similar rotation path to them. Synergy E will have to move through GXR cells.
So yes, finally we get a circle where most teams can be quite happy with it, and we're not going to have these cases what we're seeing on Erangel at the moment, where we're having these really eastern plains where they'll come down from the north side or the south side, whether that be, and then help to the northwest. And you're having a case where all these teams are having to rotate through the same pathways. This is going to open the game up a lot more for a lot of different teams. It's going to make things a lot more even. Whereas, for instance, yesterday, John, I won't lie, although Reject Scarlet did put some decent numbers, I would have to say that they were gifted a lot of those games. Obviously, in the last game, but TSM Entity one with just Jonathan bundling his way through to the end there.
Absolutely.
Reject Scarlet actually, they landed in Yasnaya. We ended in Yasnaya and they went out 5th. Again, the same thing happened on Sandhawk, where Circle goes off to the east side. Really, Reject Scarlet don't have to do anything, and similarly again on Erangel. So I would like to see how Reject Scarlet deal with this, and we'll see if they can still post up those good numbers today.
And this is sort of what we've seen a lot of the time, is when the first circle pops, they send out wide. I've started calling them the wide swing kings.
They are the wide swing kings.
They are, absolutely, and they sort of tend to just go around the edge and try and get in on an off angle to move into that rotation path that maybe people don't expect, maybe people aren't aware of. So to their credit, whilst they have been getting favoured a lot, they have been able to capitalise, and that's something that is not the easiest to do all the time.
Exactly, though, and that's the main thing. I think that yesterday was the best. It was the best opportunity for the rate. Yet, it doesn't go fantastically well. They don't even get a chicken dinner yesterday. And there was that chance on Erangel at the start there where Synergy won the game, where they had so much time to move, but they were so passive, they couldn't actually get anything done. Anyway, the wide swing, I think, is going to be in effect shortly as they head over to Impala. But again, most teams are actually in here. Oh, T1 taking a singular knock from Huashuan from U Level Up.
It's got to be a flush, pretty easy pickup there for you level up. Obviously, dropping out late towards La Cobreria and splitting up as well. Playing very quite split, actually. That's only one player there from you level up and very close to another team as well. So that was a risky choice, but they managed to make it work.
It's actually hilarious that Huashuan actually meets up with the other T1 player in Seyden, because the rest of you level up is in La Cobreria. Yes. The rest of T1 are down towards Hacienda del Patron, so it's kind of like a grudge match between these two players where they met in the middle. You know, like where the sparks fly between the gazes. That's exactly what happened between U Level Up and T1. But like you said, there is another team close vicinity. It is Freestyle. You can see Malik here looking down towards that singular U Level Up player. And he's in an awkward situation, so what will most likely happen is that U Level Up will finish looting, head down a vehicle, and pick up the boy henceforth.
I do love the skirt there that Malik's rocking. Fantastic, fantastic stuff, yeah.
That's good stuff. It does blend in with the desert as well.
Yeah.
It's camouflage.
Absolutely, it's all about that camouflage. You know, everybody wants to go for these super flashy skins, you know, whatever. But what I'm about is making sure my character's camouflage with the surroundings, and you can see Malik is on a similar wavelength. So nice to see that one. Nice to get the tactical fashion on board.
So we just got some quick Frost breakdowns where he comes across with a notebook and writes some scribbles on it.
Oh, hang on a minute.
I'm trying to decipher.
Huashuan might have just hit a little bit of a badger there, unfortunately. He has to stop short.
Oh, he's okay, he's okay.
Yeah, gets away with it.
But the deciphering that came through from the Da Vinci Code Froz actually was that Huashuan dropped with T1, and then you got Seyden dropping with U Level Up. So they kind of got mixed up on the way down there, and then that's where their cage fight begun. Obviously, Huashuan coming out on top. Oh, nice shots there from Freestyle to take him down as he tries to leave in that party bus.
Now that's the badger.
That's the badger right there, coming on through.
Yeah, so a player from U Level Up getting a kill, then getting killed. 3 players alive from the northern side of this circle. Luckily, they're not really going to have to push through too many people with this current circle blank, because, of course, it is a northern shift. Everybody's going to be coming in from the south, but it's the circles later on where they're going to have to move through locations like Crater Fields or even move out east towards water treatment that are going to be difficult for them without that full line of fire.
Yeah, I think now, well, I can pretty confidently say that U-Level are just going to stay. They're just going to stay in their current area in La Cobreria. Not really want to go anywhere too much. But yeah, this is fine for the time being. TSM Entity, they're in Hacienda del Patron. That's their usual spot that they do hold in. T1 is very, very much close outside, but you doubt they're going to take a fight with them, John. They're currently down to 3 players, obviously after losing Seidan early on. Quickly, though, as we take a look at the map, just a quick check-in with the players. Team Secret. Now, after looking at the numbers, John, after that 12th round of the Super Weekend, you know, they've only actually placed below 10th 3 times out of the 12. So that's
including today.
Including today. So that's 25% of times that they go down under 12. So they've been placing really, really high the majority of the time. So they're massively consistent. And this is what we worried about in week 1, is that they kept going out early. They weren't consistently getting to the end with 4 players. So there's been a massive shake-up in that side. And, you know, I was talking about that a lot yesterday, but I wanted to come today prepared with a little bit of a fact to just, like, put that into context, because they're doing fantastic and the people need to know.
People do need to know, Blank, and that's what we're here for. So we very much appreciate your contribution to the knowing of people, of things. Fantastic.
I do my best. I do.
Los Leones currently occupied by really only 1 squad. You've got King of Gamers on the western peak of it, but really it's Valdez the Murder who have the majority of control over the area. Team IND did move up a little bit after looting further south, but that's just on their standard rotation.
What?
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 Whoa!
Louis!
What's going on?
What on earth
What
is this? Louis? Oh my goodness me, it's Spider Louis. He's going straight up the side. Oh, hang on a minute. A small ridge has foibled him. He has been thwarted by a small ridge.
Oh, Louis never went to physics class apparently, because it doesn't apply to him.
Oh my God.
What the hell was that?
How on earth do you make that happen? That is insane. I'm lost for words, mate.
I don't know.
You ever seen that documentary about free climbing?
Whoa, free solo. Yes, I have.
Get Louis on it, mate.
No tethers, no ropes, don't need it. I've got a truck that will go up to 180 degrees.
And that is the power of 4-wheel drive, Blank.
That's what they need on the new vehicle aspects. Is like just drop Louis in there, and you can also drive up a vertical wall should you want to.
That was honestly, that was baffling. Anyway. I'm done.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness me. GXR Celts are like, there's probably 2 people down the bottom of this cliff, right?
There's no way anyone's up there.
And Louis just like...
Oh dear me. Okay. Louis, mountaintop.
Guys, at me on Twitter, at John Allen Cast, or send them to me on Instagram. I want your best vertical climbing memes.
Please.
With Louis involved.
I just want Louis. I just want Louis, but his face is just the picture of a goat at a mountain going up the hill.
That's what we want. Okay, send them to us on Twitter. Send them to us on... use the hashtag PMWL.
We'll here's up on Instagram. We'll share them where we can on our stories. Just at us. Central Circle, though, so most people still very, very happy. Again, this gives the opportunity for a lot of teams to be like, you know what, we don't have to run into too many people too often. I think probably the team that's most happy with this would be GXR Celts, because they've tended to be getting really tangled up in their rotations a lot of times, and it's been a case that, you know, they get a good start to the game. I mean, they should be expecting this by now, especially at Irongle, because they play Milta around BTR, around Box Gaming, around T1, so they're obviously going to get caught up. But I don't think they scout properly enough. albeit they're putting up some good numbers. They're towards the top of the tables, and here with this kind of circle, they've got free reign to move forward. They've got some really heavy hits on the team. We've seen a Tanky do incredible things, so I'm excited for GXR Celt's game. But it seems to me that BTR consistently come up against them, and I think that's what you also have to consider about GXR Celts. They've been fighting the best team in the lobby, probably the best team in the lobby all of these 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not the easiest situation to be in. Let's put it that way.
Kind of unfair, really.
It's not great. Not great for the health. TSM Entity on the northern side of the road that is kind of not quite in half, but splitting this circle, road that heads straight through San Martin. Their way up the leaderboards, Blank. It's absolutely phenomenal to see.
That's what it's called now.
It's fantastic. You know, they are such a solid representative of the South Asia region. I think everyone is sort of really proud to get behind them and support them. All
right, boys. If you're climbing, you're Louising. Let's just put it that way. I'm sorry if you don't get the meme later on in the tournament. You should have been watching today.
It's unfortunate. Oh, Orange Rock just took 2 knocks on the mini-map there. I spotted that.
Yeah, they're currently
eyes blank.
With your eyes. Yeah, they're currently in a kind of an awkward scenario because they're sandwiched between T1 as well as Box Gaming, but they're struggling on the cliff side. They actually held this before, but it's getting tough now because they're on the lower platforms of the mountaintop. Nexo comes through. It does favor them, but they will have to battle off Box Gaming, remove them from this game if they want to stay here.
Oh, a lot of damage coming through from these nades. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a nade that actually got those original knocks. 3 players down now for Orange Rock. They're looking to try and get the res. It's just Marvi standing. Oh no, Gil is going to go down, but both Viru and Marvi are up. 2 players for Orange Rock as Box try and send around the sides. They're spraying into the smoke. Haven't quite got the knocks just yet. Marvi gets 1, but is traded out, and the second is found. Box Gaming eliminate them from atop the mountain.
Destructive force just descends upon Orange Rock, and they're removed there, which is a very good start for Box Gaming themselves because they've got a hugely strong spot here. Obviously, Louis up on the mountainside. He's watching down upon everyone, basically god of lobby at the moment. So he's having a very, very good time. And, you know, Box Gaming, sure, they got a lot of the really good circles yesterday. It seems that's continuing to be a thing today. Ooh. What they are really good at doing is selecting a location and defending it. It's the box fort we see time and time again.
Exactly. On the northern side of this circle as well, you've got a bit of a conflict between You Level Up and Freestyle. You can see it starting to pop off in the kill feed. This is a team, remember, that Freestyle took that kill onto one of the players from You Level Up earlier, and they're here to finish the job, Blank.
That they are. King of Gamers now clashing against one another as they've had to move down to the southeast. Head just drops away, turns his head, does not want to get headshot, especially by Luxy, who puts up great headshot numbers all the time. He's terrifying.
The guy at range is someone you do not want to fight. Freestyle continue to get knocks over towards You Level Up, and it might have just been that. Yep, there we go. 15th place, You Level Up get eliminated, and the northern side is free for Freestyle.
Very, very clean play from Freestyle, removing You Level Up from the board. Obviously, You Level with only 3 players remaining, but great gatekeeping from them. And also great knowledge to stay on this side, knowing that You Level Up must have dropped in La Cobreria, so they can just wait on. Nade Gups up top side.
Wow, Ryzen.
Jeez.
Oh, you can't do that. That's just bullying. Goodness me, Ted takes a knock. That is beautiful cooking there from Ryzen.
Yeah.
Send him a Michelin star in the post.
That's a Kobe, if ever we saw one. And you talk about Michelin star, I mean, it's just as good as a Kobe steak, that thing coming onto the top side. Crazy stuff.
Nicely done. But Synergy still with plenty of players in the back pocket. Luxy's cooking one of his own. See if he Ramses his way to another knock. See if he takes a lot of damage, and Zigsaw as well. Not quite able to get the job done, but sometimes the slow cook is best.
I mean, it feels like BTR don't even use the guns these days. It's like, nades are pretty good. Let's just favor them over bullets. It's just so much easier. We don't even have to look at the team we're fighting half the time. Luxy's still going, by the way. Next up comes through hard shift to the north here, John, towards Hacienda del Patron. Now, TSM Entity don't have to move too much. Again, it's that discipline, that patience. They knew this was a good spot for them. They had a lot of landing posts to go forward towards, but now they don't even have to do that. They can move back into Hacienda del Patron, a zone they know like the back of their hand, and play from there. They will have to worry about Megastars and RRQ, who are very, very close to them.
Throwing in a Molotov, trying to slow down this push from Luxy. Ryzen's out in the blue zone, and we'll have to push through. Oh, TSM Entity are crushing one another. Oh my goodness me, RRQ, Athena just go down in the midst of it. A really fast push. Nades still being sent back and forth. Synergy suffering at the hands of Bigetron here. There's a lot of fight to pop it off all across the map as the circle will start to push them up north.
Yeah, BTR are just buffeting against Synergy at the moment. They can't really do much about it. And Synergy, you can tell that they just want to leave. The meds are low. Bandage is the only thing on board for Synergy. But we've got to talk about TSM Entity. Now they're fighting versus King of Gamers. They just completely wiped out RRQ. This is ridiculous work that they're doing. Luxy moves out into the blue zone. It's going to look for a little bit of an angle, but look at this. Z-God's still going. This is ridiculous work, but now Freestar from behind is going to go for the backstab.
Unfortunately, he's going to be going no longer. Does get knocked for now. They'll try and have to get that res on board. Box landing the shot. Pime finds two. Team IND suffering heavily at this hands. Going to get a couple of replays on board, see which fight we're going to catch up with. Okay, this is U-Level Up from earlier, if you remember the Northern conflict. U-Level Up trying to move across open ground in a buggy when Kashuf had a free shot all the way across the valley. That's, you're asking to go down there, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, fantastic spray from Kashuf there. Very, very well done. But Pime, we know this guy can snipe. He's just thrown out dead-eye shots after one another. 2 shots to the M24, made it nice and easy. TSM is still fighting other teams. They just fought versus RRQ, then they fought versus King of Gamers. Now they're attacking GXR Cells. They are relentless, John.
Doesn't stop, does it? Action keeps on popping. It's what you love to see. The finish, relatively urban for now, and Freestar, they are going to keep going. 5 kills found so far. This is a decent showing for a team that is on the bottom of these Super Weekend leaderboards, Blank. You know, currently sat with 64 points. They need to do something dramatic to try and get themselves secure into those top 16 to get to the league finals.
Which is why you have to start speeding things up here, because if they don't get into this is a big storyline, right, John? Because if you don't get into the next Super Weekend and you are down in points, you are probably going to go out and not make it to the league finals. So this is actually one of the more important last 3 games of the tournament in terms of getting to that league finals, because you're banking on having a good weekday performance and getting back into that Super Weekend. But after that, there is no more. That is it. The numbers, they'll be locked in. But here we can see Box Gaming coming against Valdus the Murder. We'll see how Louis can do this one, see if he can climb his way over this fight.
Bigetron fighting against Synergy as well, but for now, we're going to focus in on the southern border. There's so many teams around this area. It could get pretty chaotic, Blank. Over the hills, it seems to be nades abound in Miramar for pretty much every squad. The Defilades funneling those grenades in. Break just dodges death by a pixel or two as the nade bubbles over the top there and saves him for just a moment longer. But the next shift comes through, and it's hard northwest, Blank.
Oh yeah, Freestar going to be pretty happy with this one. It's going to remove the last player from Megastars. In Paradox, they'll be sitting pretty with a really nice ridge line to play from and good high ground, not to mention. But TSM Entity, they're going to have to be that break that all the teams bash up against as they are holding down the roadside. Do they want to move further into the circle? That is the question. But Team Secret, they've been relatively silent towards that eastern side, keeping their position as Secret here. Now moving in. T1, though, they're moving towards the north side. Team Secret will be clashing into them shortly, and right now they're doing one of those mistakes we saw them have early, which is they're a little bit split up, so they're going to try and get back together as soon as possible, because we know that's when they thrive. That's Megastars now going down on the northwestern side of the map. Freestars now claim that entire zone for themselves.
Oh, Pime just gets behind cover there as Goddard goes for the long-range spray. Valdus, the Murder, are going to have that long push to make, but Soda Box, everybody in this area is going to have to leave. That includes the remaining one player of Bigetron. As Jonathan just starts to pop off with the kill feed, gets a double spray down on towards GXR Celts. A split GXR Celts means that they are going to be left with just 2 alive.
Reject Scarlet going down to the play zone. Valdus the Murderer just ahead of them, but they are suffering at the behest of that blue zone itself too. It's starting to really zap at their backs. JXL's trying to make their way in, but now it's Box Gaming moving parallel against them. They currently have 3 players on board. You can see Loki there, Pime, as well as Louis. JXL Cells trying to dissuade them away from this compound. It's their last bastion.
But they need to push in further, Blank. They're not in this next zone. They have to leave this building. It's not going to keep them secure for very long. A lot of teams on the southeast, and right now, I'm looking at Freestyle. They have the high ground. They have control of all of these sightlines. If it shifts out of the city, they're as good as gold.
Yeah, if we get another northwest shift, yeah, Freestyle are going to be sitting pretty exactly like you say. The issue comes is the fact that they're right on the edge of the circle. They need a hard shift to remain on that ridge side. If they don't get it, they have to come down, and it's right quite a long way as well. And Team Secret, TSM Entity, if any of them are looking behind them, they should get the shots off of the freestyle. So they've got to be really careful as to how they descend from this position, John. Louis taking shots towards Valdez the Murder, who have somehow, some way, made their way into the circle from that long run.
They're not quite done just yet. We'll have to move a little bit further and maybe even try and cross the road here, Blank. It will be tricky. T1 ready and waiting, and they're already starting to take that fight. Velmuth tries to skirt around the side, but they spot it out. No problem. We're down to 9 teams in a relatively tight circle.
New circle about to come onto our screen soon as Team Secret have pressed towards the center of the circle. Try and get as good statistical chance as possible. But look at that. It was that hard shift I was talking about. Freestyle could just about sit on the lip of the ridge there. Val's the Murder, they do go down, but this still favors Freestyle somewhat. But all of the other teams, they're out of the circle. They'll have to move in. Freestyle, this is a really good opportunity for them to start to pepper the teams in front of them with lead.
And they've already had a pretty decent game on the kill counts. That's bigetron going down, so we're down to 7 teams. In the last 30 seconds, we've dropped from 9 to 7. So we'll see how many more we're going to get into this next circle, because this is the urban crunch that is so tricky. This is why, Avenger on the desk, he says, never go into a city unless you know it's going to finish there. Never go into that environment unless you know that it's going to come towards you. And this is what is going to happen when it doesn't go your way.
You're starting to struggle a little bit. You see that Box Gaming actually taking a knock onto TSM Entity. Now, I was saying that Box Gaming was getting a couple of circles yesterday in the favor, but that's not to say they haven't fought for a lot of their games, and they can certainly do it. They have the fragging power on board. Loki's extremely low, though, and they're taking so many shots. And this is it. This is what we're talking about. Freestyle can start to pepper these teams, try and remove as many as possible before they get too close to them.
TSM Entity managed to steal that one away, but it's Box Gaming eliminated on the crunch. 6 teams now remaining. Team Secret have made their way into the circle. They've snuck through the whole battlefield, and they have 2 kills total, Blank. There's really 3 teams where these kills are focused right now, and one of them just went out. It's Box Gaming on 8. You've got TSM Entity on 11 and Freestyle on 9.
It's a high kill game here. It is the guns that are doing the work, not the circle, as we seem to be used to from Vikendi and Sandhawks, who we've seen recently. But T1, let's remember, these guys came down from the northern side. They took a little bit of a damage early on from U level up. Obviously, we saw Satan go down, but now T1, they're still in the game. They're in an okay position. They could actually even dismount Freestyle. But look at Synergy. They're still in this game.
Zigsaw, the Lone Ranger for Synergy, catches Neo on the off. I don't think they're going to be able to save that. Oh no, it's Jonathan. He's at range. Of course he has the back, but there is shots coming in at him every which way. Zedgod manages to push close. They're trying to dismount Zigsaw here as he's trying to send around the other side, but he gets spotted out. And it's Zedgod actually to finish it, but he gets knocked in response. That's Team Secret starting to come into the fight now, Blank. Synergy eliminated, down to 5, but TSM Entity are under heavy fire.
The bullets are pouring down from everywhere on this map. There's not really any way you can go without taking shots. Now, Freestyle, they've made a little bit of a split here. They've sent Malik on forwards towards TSM Entity. So low, one nade would do the job, but it's not quite far enough here. Another goes through, almost well cooked, but it goes a little bit too far. Now, Jonathan zigzagging his way over the top. They jiggle, but he goes down and won't get it. And Ashuf is able to support his team for the backside.
They still manage to get to 5th, Blank, and they still manage to get 12 kills. Fantastic game from them, 19 points, but it's all the game for Freestyle right now. They have 12 kills, Blank. They have 3 players alive on the outside of these compounds, and look at the lines of fire they have set up.
Team Secret, really well done. We do have one player from Freestyle up on the top side watching down with the M4. Got a decent compound, but nothing else. Well, decent.
I am never going to be able to say that name in a play-by-play, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I also opted against.
Oh goodness me! It's just a jumble of U's.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is a proper name, but I'm baffled by it.
An okay nade doesn't go quite far enough to take down any members from T1. GXR Celts, they have a tanky MJ. A tanky, that player I was talking about earlier, a really fantastic player, had a really strong win in a wrangle a little while back, even 1v4ing Reject Scarlet by himself, so by no means count GXR Celts out yet. Freestyle are heavily split though. Their players get picked off one by one.
Team Secret, they've taken one knock, but they found a building. This seems to be their specialty, Blank. They managed to just sneak through these cracks and get some sort of a position. And it's really what's seen them so safe moving forwards. And they are going to take the fight with GXR Celts, who are themselves fighting off T1 and the rest of Team Secret. Youngjun opting for the heal strat. As the GXR Celts do get eliminated, that will see them higher up in the tables. And now, Freestyle, I think they might have taken a knock there. Yeah, Malik does go down, so 3 players are alive, but 2 of them are going to be in operation. The oversight will be taken away as well, and now it's just Kashuf on the outskirts for Freestyle. Has quite some decent sight lines, but nades can send him away quick as anything.
Goodness me, we saw Rex slam to the floor there. The bullets came at him in a blinding pace. And now Shoof is going to go for that revive onto his teammate Malik, I believe. But Team Secret, they've got a great position to start pushing forwards. Youngjun out in the circle. He's vying for the second place with that heal off. See if he can make it happen. But Team Secret, they still have to res 1 player on board. Madtoy far behind, trying to play from the high ground. See if he can spot any players. Currently, their high ground approach from Freestyle is down.
We'll be able to gather the info from the player atop the mountain for Freestyle, so they might be able to track some of these movements. The question is, how long does Youngjun last out in the blue? If he goes down earlier, there he goes. Okay, so 2 teams remain. This means that it is second place guarantee for both of these squads.
It is indeed. No, you see Ice Shots here looking to find these players over the way. Yuhai, obviously, is really high frag on the team and can start to shine here, start to blossom at the end of this game where he's able to play aggressive. Now there's only 1 other team remaining and only 2 players up. There's Ice Shots taking a few shots as a shoot dashes across, and he actually might get the revive here. And this is where Team Secret know they have to go. This is bold from Freestyle, and Team Secret, they will not allow it.
4-man swarm will start to push out. You can see Yuhai moving up that cliff face, but Malik spotted it out. He's going to know that it's there, looks for the spray, but he finds a couple of bullets sent his way. Unfortunately, they get 1 knock now. Freestyle tried to ascend the mountain, but they get shut out. It is Team Secret